bottom right, we have Mine Your Biz. We're definitely going to want to ask them some questions about the whole mining situation going on. What is up with Ethereum? When it comes to supply shocks, we've seen in crypto, it doesn't happen immediate. The main example, of course, is Bitcoin halving. There's a period, I think it was May of 2020, rewards were reduced. We didn't see massive positive price action for about 6 months. That's when that nice pump at the end of 2020 happened. So it took about 6 months for serious appreciation to happen. Is there any kind of timeline you could say with reduced selling pressure of Ethereum? Because now we don't have miners selling Ethereum every block. How long will this take to affect the price action? Are we looking at weeks, months, never? I mean, what are your thoughts?
So that's a great question. I think it's a question everybody in retail should be asking about. It's specifically Ethereum right now when it comes to proof of work assets. But before I jump into a complete answer, just want to express my gratitude for you guys having me back on the show. It's so great hanging with the Bit Squad.
And of course, don't worry, Mine.
Panelists.
We're going to ask you the hard questions later where you can show how basically how much smarter you are than us when it comes to this stuff. So, but I wanted to get the price question out of the way first.
Well, I appreciate you asking about the price question because that is what matters at the end of the day, right? Like those of us who are paying attention right now, we're trying to make those choices that help us, well, first off, avoid wreckage, right? When we go back into a bull market, but possibly, maybe, right? If we play our cards right, do really well. And I think right now, trying to predict roughly, give or take, what Ethereum is going to do over the next several weeks and months, that's the right question to ask. But let's bring up that comparable that you brought up, Deezy, of Bitcoin and the halving cycle. It's not perfectly a one-to-one match, and here's why. Bitcoin is on a regular emission schedule, meaning that every time that it halves, it's cut exactly in half. This so-called triple halvening that the Ethereum core developers have put into play with Ethereum is a little bit less predictable, and there are a few culprits there. The first one being there was an aspect of the Ethereum block issuance or block reward called MEV. And most people aren't really familiar with this, but it was a way that additional rewards were emitted in every single block prior to the merge. And what most people don't know is that this MEV, it's called miner extractable value, this was a narrative that was being perpetuated by the Ethereum core developers to make miners look greedy and make miners Deezy, you repeated it, maybe not knowing that not all the sell pressure in Ethereum comes from miners in the same way that not all the sell pressure in Bitcoin comes from miners. So this MEV acronym, please remember this, Bit Squad. Please remember that MEV is not going away, even though mining just literally went away. And it's still something that can be exploited on Ethereum. So we may see that token issuance, that the block rewards, that they grow back up based on MEV. Remember this acronym, and please at the Ethereum core developers on crypto Twitter if you want more clarity on it, but also something called flash bots. There are ways to inject more block reward into Ethereum, and we can't go into the full deep dive right now, but I just want the Bit Squad to know that it's hard for us to predict, and it's definitely impossible for us to compare it to a Bitcoin halving cycle, because this so-called triple halving is going to look very different in about 6 months to a year. So that's what I can tell you, is that it's just going. We have no way to predict how this is going to play out.
Seth, I'm going to keep with you to see if this is bull crap or not. We got Vitalik. He is saying this is huge for the reduction of energy consumption worldwide. He was saying, he threw out the number, this is going to equate to 1/5 of 1% reduction in electrical usage globally here. I think, the terawatt hours, it looks like it's using less than about 1% of a terawatt. And now it's, previously it was 112 terawatts. So we're seeing a massive reduction. We've seen the number 99.95% reduction, equating to that massive amount. Now, I know you don't know how many dryers are on right now and how many people got the TV plugged in, but when you hear that, back of the napkin math, is that pass the sniff test here?
It actually does. So to give you the pat answer, it kind of does. It passes the sniff test. He's not telling you. Here's where
more secrets.
The phrase there,
man,
lies.
You're reading between the lines here for us, man. I like it.
Yeah. There are lies, damned lies, and statistics. We got to figure out which one of those this thing is, right? That Vitalik is saying right now. Is it a lie? Is it a damned lie, or a statistic? And I think all he's doing is trying to frame it as a statistic. Let me turn it into a damned lie right here for the Bit Squad. So as far as what Vitalik is saying, it's only a half truth, right? He's about the power consumption, not about how that power is sourced or generated. And that all the difference. You yourself just said, deezy, if everybody in the United States turns their dryer on at the exact same time, the power grid goes down. The month of December actually consumes more in electricity just between the middle of the month all the way through New Christmas lights than all of Bitcoin and Ethereum combined throughout the year. So Vitalik, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Like there's no way for you to meaningfully put contests unless you're trying to appeal to certain kinds of investors who believe in ESG, which, by the way, is a scam.
Pretty cool site. If you want to nerd out on some of those stats, I think Mind Your Biz is he's pointing out all the flaws on the website right now. But let's talk a little.
That's what Mind Your Biz is.
I'm getting pumped. Hello.
Whoa. All right.
We're talking about proof of work.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Vitalik ain't the only one swolled up, if you know what I'm saying. All right. Now let's talk about this ETH proof of work. Mind Your Biz. We last looked at trading, this $20 to $60 range. I expect a lot of volatility. I expect a kind of a Terra Luna classic type of situation where it's going to be swinging wildly. It's like ETH classic in the Robinhood heyday. It's kind of how I'm envisioning it. What's the value proposition? We know the value proposition for ETH Classic. It's Ethereum still holding on to its original ideals. Even Charles Hoskinson, renowned crypto leader, espousing how awesome it is back in the day. Is this going to have a similar narrative? Is there going to be an army of people saying, no, well, actually, I think this is better than Ethereum, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, so for ETHW, this is a fork that, let's be very, very clear, it hasn't even launched yet. Most people are aware that we're just trading a ticker symbol, and we have zero proof of work. We have zero hash rate. We have an announcement of pools that are going to support ETHW as a ticker symbol and the ETHPOW fork, but we have no usable code. In fact, if you wanted to run a validator node, or if you wanted to contribute meaningfully to the infrastructure right now, you don't even know how to set up the nodes. The ETH core developers have been hard at work capping on these guys, clapping back against the ETHW development team because they deserve it. They've behaved like the Keystone Cops. They look like a bunch of clowns. There's nothing in place that anybody can actually use that shows that there's any way for you to meaningfully work on this network. And beyond that, you got Chainlink saying we won't support it. You've got Tether saying we won't support it. You got Circle saying we won't support it. You got the Shiba Inu group saying we won't support it. You got the Hexicans saying obviously we're making Pulse Chain. You got everybody basically capping on this group and saying y'all are a bunch of clowns. Nobody takes you seriously. Least of all, the proof of work community. If you really want a proof of work chain that looks like Ethereum, go with the original chain, ETH Classic, because that actually is Ethereum. It's provably a longer chain. It's got a bigger DAG file size, not to make it about, measurement, guys. Don't get insecure. But it's got a bigger DAG file size, and it's just provably the original Ethereum. So if you want proof of work, you don't have to go to ETHW.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole thing is a farce.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, if you want the ideals of, go to Classic. Yeah, it's like Coke Classic. It's the way to go. Chat is having a field day with this. Hey, hit that like button if you appreciated the wardrobe change. Hey, chill. My girlfriend's watching. Hey, calm down, bro. My mom's in the room with me. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm actually wearing a strapless bro right now. Hey, don't make it weird. See how they crop this? They crop it right here. It's just the decolletage.
Manzier.
All you can see is the decolletage. I'm decent.
All right.
Yeah, so I've had the pleasure of meeting with Tron Black, the main developer behind Ravencoin. I know, Seth, you've met him before too, and really great.
He did a push-up contest against him. He demolished him.
Yeah, Tron Black gave me a run for my money. I'm going to tell you, he's a tough guy.
Yeah, and just the fact that you ran in without a shirt and were out of breath too was just so distracting that all I could think of.
Takes a lot of work to take a shirt off, huh? Takes a lot of work to take a shirt off,
brother.
Hey, if you have traps and lats like that, it probably is. Obviously, Mind Your Biz, took it home, took the shirt off, he took the crown. Mind Your Biz, feel free. I think he just dragon punched some proof of work miner through a wall probably right before he jumped on camera. But Mind Your Biz, feel free. Take us away. Leave us with some parting thoughts, please.
Oh, hey, first off, feels good, man. Thanks for having me back on the channel. Really appreciate you guys bringing me on to around the blockchain. It's always a pleasure to be around people who are such incredible experts in their own lane. Miss Team Crypto, mad respect. Steve McGarry of Hack Crypto, love his content as well. Buy builders, for builders, and then Crypto Blood. You can't beat Bloodalytics. Check out sub.myb.lol, please. S'il vous plaît. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on and letting me ramble about nerdy Ethereum crypto mining stuff. Who does that? Thanks.
Chat said his shirt got triple halved. All right, that was comment of the day.